Hey Hooper, welcome to day 9 of your 30 days in flow. Today's theme, our technique that we're layering on is curiosity. Can you stay curious? Can we open up new pathways? Can we play with what if I go this way? Or what if I open up this way? So let's play, because today we're doing spin breaks. We are doing prayer hands, trying to remember with curiosity. We are doing an escalator variation, which there are so many. And then we are doing a one-hand mandala, which may or may not fit in your house. If you're doing this in your house, I'm going to give you a variation. This is just, of course, one flow session of so many variations that you could do. And when it comes to playtime, I really, really encourage you to layer on that technique of curiosity. How can I move in non-habitual ways? How can I create new pathways? What if I go this way instead of that way? What if I put my hands up instead of down? Let's play. Spin breaks. We break the hoop. The hoop's momentum means that we stop its spin no matter which direction it is going, with multiple different techniques, and send it in the other direction. So with a spin break, you might be spinning with 2 hoops or 1 hoop and you simply squeeze and reverse. But for today, we're going to use another body part to break it and send it in the opposite direction. Break and send it in the opposite direction. So spinning your hoop on your hand. If all of this is really new to you, 28-day Hooper Starter Pack, you're gonna love it, because breaks down all of the tricks and you can go back and learn over and over and over again. So shaking hands with the hoop. If it's going out to the right on your right hand, you're going to squeeze by holding or wrapping your fingers around, bringing up your right leg and tapping it on the outside. So now it's spinning to the left. If it's spinning to the left, squeeze again and tap. It's spinning to the right. So this is a cool way to bring different variations and also some interest, a little bit of diversity to your movement in a fairly simple way. Break, break. You can use your hand, your opposite hand. You can play around with it. And of course, you can do it on all different levels. Spin breaks. Then what we're going to do is prayer hands. Now, prayer hands essentially is this guy where we put our hands together with your hoop is spinning on the vertical like this or on the horizontal. Now, here is where you can play with a little bit of curiosity. If you keep your thumbs together, your fingers together, and your hoop spinning, your elbows are bent and you're kind of bouncing, not too much, but up and down a little bit, like pulsing. Can we get curious? What would happen if you keep your fingers facing towards me, like they can't go up to the sky and they can't go down to the ground, they just have to stay on this really beautiful horizontal, and fingers honestly facing towards me? What would happen if you started to turn? So fingers are still facing towards me, and then what would happen if you, as long as you don't have any light fittings above you, quickly check, what would happen if you then took this behind you? And then what would happen if you kept going around, but your fingers are always facing towards me? Staying curious. You could potentially do a whole 360 prayer hand mandala, maybe, if you wanted to stay curious. Or you could put your 2 hands together and play here for a moment. Now we're going to do an escalator variation. That means you could do any kind of escalator, letting go, holding on, reversing, breaking, any of those things. But for this one, what we're going to do, or what I'm going to do, is I'm going to grab my hoop and take it out to the side, and then I'm going to wrap it on my arm and bring it down to the other side. I'll show you. So I was in prayer hands, and then I squeeze my hoop and I take it out. My wrist is facing forwards, and then I'm going to not hit myself in the head. So I want to keep my arm up high enough so that I don't hit my ceiling fan or my my light or anything that's important. I live in an apartment with a low ceiling. This is a really annoying move. So you can take it out to the side, but you're going to fold it back this way, not into your head. And then I'm going to wrap until I can't wrap anymore, like all the way back, and then I'm going to give it a little shove and let it come down to my opposite hand. So it went from top right to bottom left, or vice versa. So let me show you that little shove. So I wrap it around and I give it a little push forward. Not too much. I don't have to bring my arm all the way down because my body is there with all these beautiful spiraling contact points, so that if I keep the wrap going, it will come down and I can catch it. My arm out, waiting. Wrap and down. You can turn. You could turn in the same direction. What if you turn in the opposite direction? What would happen? Oh, wow, wonderful things. So many variations. Love this. So for this one, I'm simply going to catch it on my second hand because our last move is to do a one-hand mandala. And here we go. So a mandala I used to teach this whole entire workshop, go to retreats and teach these until I didn't anymore, which is super sad. But anyway, so a mandala is all the spinning and moving and passing variations behind you. It's like you have these big, beautiful mandalas. But I know that we live and we practice indoors. And so a one-hand mandala can look like this, where you take the hoop all the way over, spinning wildly, never out of control, of course, but we don't all have that kind of space. So you can tone that down and kind of do a one-hand isolation barrel roll, which is equally as amazing. So choose your own adventure. If you would like to take up a lot of space, if you can take up a lot of space, you're going to have, if it's on your right hand, you'll spin to the right and then you're going to turn to the left. But if it's on your left hand, you're going to spin to the left and turn to the right. And be very, very mindful. You're going to turn in a full 360, but you want to make sure that your shoulder is supported. So don't let your hoop go too far and then you don't turn. Keep it in nice and close. Only go as far as feels supportive above the crown of your head and back down. Remember how we did that? Fingers always facing towards me. This is a must for this. Your hoop will go flying. So bend your elbow. Keep your wrist close to your head. Do a 360 and come back to me. If that is too much, do not do it. There's no forcing. There's no pushing. There should definitely be no pain, unless it's like a little bit of a pressure kind of bruise. So shake it out and relax. And if that is happening, you're going to grab your hoop, stay in the center, and then drive. See, my thumb is on top. Turn towards it, towards your thumb. Look at your thumb. Keep looking at your thumb. Keep looking at your thumb as you do a 360 and bring the hoop all the way around. Equally amazing. Okay, so we had spin breaks where we break the hoop. Then we had prayer hands. Can you get curious? Do you want to play? Then squeeze the hoop, take it out, wrap it around and down. Yes. Then bring it up and off. So what I did there, my hoop was out to the side and then I'm going to draw it towards like the front of my hips and then it's off. So it's out to the side. I'm going to trace a circle down. Of course, you can move your body and play. I'm trying to do this as structured and centered, so it's a good tutorial for you. But you're going to layer on your curiosity. And then from here, spinning or holding one hand. And you do a 360 and the mandala does its thing. Okay, so let's get curious. Let's play with spin breaks, prayer hands, escalator variations of your choosing, and one hand mandalas in all of the variations. Let's play. Taking as much time as you need, staying as curious as you possibly can, Enjoy this one, so beautiful. Try this on both arms if you can. We can become quite dominant on one side. It's all good. Stay curious, play. I'm going to see you tomorrow. Big hoop love from me to you. Mwah.